Okay, with this tutorial, I am going to make a composite of meteorites into one image. And as you can see here, I've got a selection like here, but some of them you will tell aren't meteorites when you look at them. If you look at them closely, you can tell, especially with some as I go further along my images, you'll see here and here they're moving in sequence, like that one there, move from there to there. And don't forget there's a time delay between shots as well. Like that, it's moving along, so you know that that would be a satellite or a plane that's going across, probably a satellite. So I've chosen a selection of images, which I've highlighted. In a moment I'll show you. You can see as they're trails, and like here, I believe it's this one, you can tell that's a plane with a redness on it. That's the lights that are showing up with a long exposure. So as you can see here, I've got ones that I've highlighted in red and also rated them, so I can pick them easy. So if I go to flagged, which is flagged everything, so all the ones that I flagged that I want to use will come up here like this, but I only want to use a certain amount. So I'm going to go to the flagged option here. I'm going to choose rated, and that will bring up the ones that I believe, let me zoom out, have the meteorites in them, as you can see there. So there's only a few, but to give you an idea of what's going on. Now this one here, as you can see, where is it? It's got a plane in it, so we won't bring that into the actual image. Okay, so what I'm going to do is highlight all of them. So it's shift on the click on the first one, shift click there, that highlight all of them. Right click, go up to edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. And that will then open Photoshop and put them all into layers, which is doing so now. Let me just expand that as well. I don't know why that's gone like that. I was just working on it at the moment. There we go. So go to Photoshop. I don't know why, sorry, I don't know why this is doing this. Right, it's open. It was working on it, so it's opening them all now as layers, as you can see down here. Okay, so I'm going to click on zoom and fit on screen. So each one is now on a layer. Now what I need to do, I've got a base layer that I want to bring in. So I'm going to go back to Lightroom. I'm going to go to my library and bring my base image in. This is a long way of doing it to Photoshop, so that's what I want to use. As you can see, I've already edited it with bringing out the Milky Way in the image, but that's the base layer that I want. So I'm going to open that in Photoshop. So right click, edit in Photoshop, edit with adjustments, which I will, because I'll get the adjustments. Then that'll open in Photoshop. I have got a long way about doing this, so I should have brought them all in as one. But as you can see, it's there in Photoshop. So what I'm going to do now is select all that. So click select, select all, edit, copy, go back to my stacked images, and I'm going to go to edit and paste. Now that has pasted it as another layer, so I'm going to put that at the bottom because that's my base layer that I want. Now if you want to hide all these layers, click on this one Click on the eyeball, press Alt, that'll hide all the other layers. As you can see, it's a different size to what the others are, but that doesn't matter. And also, it doesn't matter about this down here, because we're only taking this part, the meteorites, and putting them into this image. So they will all go into that one image. Okay. Now what I want to do is bring up each one at a time. Remember they're layers, so it's basically just a layer over the top of the base image. As you can see, let me just hide this. The meteorite here is the one I want. Now to make that, bring that into the image, what I'm going to do is put up a layer mask. Now you've got the chance of putting a white layer mask there. Now bear in mind, white conceals, black. No, white reveals, black conceals. That's what they say. So I'm going to take that out and delete that. I'm going to put a black layer mask in. So you press the Alt key, click on the layer mask, that'll bring a black one in. See? Okay. Delete that because I didn't add it on the wrong layer. Sorry. Always make sure you click on the one that you want. So Alt and bring in the black layer. Now I'm going to hide that layer by pressing Shift and click on it. So that's hiding the one behind it. Okay, and here you want to zoom in on this. Now you can press the Alt key to zoom in or zoom out, and just press the space key and drag, and press the Alt key and just scroll the mouse wheel. Go onto your paintbrush, which is over here. Choose your brush size. You can do it up here and change the size if you want to. But I'm going to press the bracket keys on the keyboard, bring it down to whatever size you feel you want on it. So make sure that this is on white as well, because white reveals, black conceals. So you click at the top of it, the top of the satellite, or sorry, meteorite. Click once, go down to the bottom where you want it, press Shift and click again. Now you can do this as many times as you want. Click and Shift. And then what we do is go down here, press Shift and click on it, and then that will bring that into the image. So zoom out with Alt, and you see how it's brought it into that image there. Now what I'm going to do is actually make the bottom image, the base image, fit. I'm just going to move this up. Click on the base image, go to Edit, Transform, Scale, and then just scale it up so it fits in like that. So it's covering the image. You can see when it's done it. You can see here it's not quite there because it's got the white band around it. So just bring it out. There we go. See, that has brought that one in. So then we go up to the next layer. Make sure you've highlighted it. You can see the satellite there, not satellite, meteorite there. Again, click the Alt, click the layer mask, which brings it back. Hide it with Shift and click on the layer mask. And again, press the Alt, zoom in, space bar. I'm dragging the mouse around with this, by the way. So the Alt and the mouse bar zoom wheel will zoom in. Go to your pen, the brush tool, sorry. Zoom in more if you want to. Make sure this is on white down here. Okay, so you click and shift, go back over here, press shift to reveal it. Zoom out. Let's brought that one in. There we go, and again you do it each one. Make sure it's highlighted. Alt and layer mask brings up the black layer mask. Hide it with shift and click, and then you've got a couple in here. So again, zoom in. Your brush tool's set. So where you think it's going to start, click and shift down there. Now this one, I'm a bit dubious. I believe that's a satellite. As you can see, it's not broken up like this. It hasn't got this white streak here. It's more of a plain constant image, so I'm not going to actually use that one. Okay, zoom out. And again over here, shift and click to reveal it. Here we go. So that one is there. And again, next one up, highlight it, Alt, layer mask, shift, click to hide, zoom in, paintbrush, click on the start, and shift click down the bottom, shift click over here, that one's brought that in, and the final one here is click it, Alt, click on the layer mask to bring the layer mask in, shift click on there to hide it, and you see here where it's got a plane, so I'm not going to bring that in, so I can actually leave that, because all I'm doing is revealing what I paint in white, because white reveals, black conceals. Okay, so zoom in again. And again with your paintbrush. There probably are easier ways of doing this. This is just my way of doing it. I'm just trying to help you out if it's, hopefully it is helping. Click, shift click, go over here, get rid of the X. You can see there's another one here. You can see that there. Now, I haven't noticed that before. I'm quite tempted to bring that in. I will bring that in actually. So I'm going to, before I disable this, I'm going to click, shift click, disable this with shift click. No, I'm not happy with that at all. So zoom out. Okay. Now I'm going to go in, zoom in on this. I'm going to swap this to black to conceal. Bring my brush up. Shift click, and I'm going to conceal that. Shift click, and that should conceal it. There we go. It's still slightly there. So I'm going to bring my brush up a little bit more. Maybe I should have brought it down actually. Paintbrush, bear with me on this. Okay, it's on black. Shift, click, shift click there. And again, this one here isn't ideal either. As you can see, it's got a black tinge around it. So I'm going to shift, click that one as well. See what that does. I don't know why it's done that. So I wonder if it's because the resolution of the image. Just try and bring it in again. See, I made a mistake there. See that? I made a mistake by clicking on the actual image rather than the mask. So Control Z that. Control Z delete is what you've last done. Click on this. Shift, click. There we go. Now I'm going to paint that in again by revealing that. Go to white over here. I'm going to bring my brush down, the size down, and I'm going to go click, shift click, get rid of this. It's done it, but it's still got a black line around it. I don't know why. I'm going to see what that comes out like in the final image. So zoom out. So they're all there in a composite now of one image basically, until not as yet because I need to flatten images. But another thing that you can do if you want to bring these out a little bit more is go to the dodge tool. Okay, I'm on the dodge tool and just run over them. So the same principle, shift and click actually draws a straight line. So click, shift click, actually on the image, not the on the actual image, sorry, not the mask. And to find out which one I'm working on, if you hide it with the eyeball, you can see which one you're working on, like that. So that one is there. So again, shift click. See how that's bringing it out? It's defining it more. That's a matter of preference whether you do this or not. I quite like it. And the next one, which is over here, so highlight that one. So click on the layer that it's on. Shift, click, shift, click, click. Okay. And the next one, click on the layer. Remember the eyeball will hide it or reveal it, like that. So you know which one you're working on. And again, I'm bringing it out more like that. Next one down. Click on the file and like so, just highlight it to bring it out. And the final one, this one here, click on the image and just keep clicking, pressing shift at the same time to bring it out. There we go, that's done. So another thing you can do is transform them to make them look as though they're going all in one area. So if I wanted, say for this one, I can go highlight the image that you're on, go to edit, transform, edit free transform, then just hover over here and you can see you can rotate. See up here, it goes to rotate. And what, don't go too mad, but you can actually move it to a different area like that. If I wanted to, I could actually move it over here. To wherever you want, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. But that's what you can do. Is basically free transform it and move them all around to different areas, so you can get them as though they're coming in from here or from here or from here. But I'm going to leave it as it is because I quite like that. So that is a completed image. And now, to finish it off, just right click on over here on these images and flatten the image. Highlight them all and flatten the image. So it's shift click to highlight them all, to select them all. So there, shift and flatten image. Then that will make it as one image. Go to file, save, and it's saving down here. That's done. Then you can close it and go into Lightroom. You go into Lightroom and that's your final image. And see that it hasn't touched any of the background area here, only from the base image, because you've only highlighted the bits that you wanted to bring in to from Photoshop. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Take care.